HART Sapphire Series 2021. It is the final round of the preliminary games. We start semi-finals next week. We're coming to you live from Nissan Arena, which is in the southern suburbs of Brisbane. If you haven't heard, it's the Olympic City for 2032. Well done, Brisbane. My name's Dave Mills, joined in commentary by Queensland Sun superstar Joel Wise. Billy, not a lot on the line in this match. We got the QUT side had a shock loss last week, taking on the Wildcats, 2nd versus 7th. What are your thoughts on this one, my friend?
Look, I think this is one of those matches where QUT are going to want to make sure they go into finals with some good form, so they're not going to be complacent today. And at the other end of the court, Wildcats, I think they're going to want to make sure that they finish the season off well. Not the season they would have wanted, I'm sure, but I think they'll be putting it all out on court today. Indeed,
the Wildcats, they won it 2 years ago. They finished 4th last year. They've slipped down to 7th, but having said that, it's a brand new team. They lost 9 players from the team from last year, so it's been a bit of a rebuilding year for them. They've had some brilliant passages, and hopefully we'll see some more today. Let's look at the lineups. We'll start with the Wildcats team. There's been a lot of late changes, so if you've got, you might have seen on the Facebook, their team, it's changed dramatically. Amaris Toya is the goal shooter. Brianna Gregory, the goal attack. The wing attack is Courtney Baird. Brittany Mould is the centre and captain. The wing defence is Madison Fallon. The goal defence is Haley Geyer. The goalkeeper is Liliana Rennie. Hayley Mulherron comes in there, Liliana Rennie to the bench. Kayla Anderson, she's come up into the side. She's on the bench as well, as is Jessica Donnelly. Now, the missing link there is Josephine Bingham. Believe it or not, suffered concussion 4 weeks ago, buddy, and getting the effects of it now. So she's in exhibiting the All-Australia Netball protocols, and she's going through that one right as we speak. The team from QUT, coached by Paula Stewart. Alicia Adams-Tahara is the shooter. Riley Batchelor, the goal attack. Keisha Grant comes back into the side. She's been out for 4 weeks with the thumb injury. The Ferrari, Halida Verve, is the centre. Danielle Taylor, the wing defence. Goal defence is Lenora Missa. Lily Gribble is the keeper. Leaves the bench of Dakota Newson, Sopo Lima Lama, Tutayama Alsop, and someone new to the side just for this round, Sinead Southern. She is up from the Logan district and she's playing in this game. Assistant coach, Shania Stockton, and the manager is Sky Cater. Thoughts on this one, buddy? Who's going to win and why?
QUT, I think their defensive end is just going to be way too strong for the Wildcats. Lenora Missa, I've said it before, she's got springs in her legs. Really disrupts the ball into the circle and makes the shot difficult as well.
Indeed, she certainly does. She's had a great season as well. We're getting close to starting. We're only 2 minutes out, so I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land of which this great game is taking place, the Turrbal and the Jagera people, and pay our respects to the elders, past, present and emerging, and extend that respect to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people watching today. The umpires, they're on the side. Today's game, we've got 3 of the best. Buddy Niku, Kelly Finlay, and Nicola Stevens is the 3rd all reserve. And she'll probably be back on later on. It seems if you're reserve in the first, you umpire a bit later in the day. It's hard to go past the QUT side. Last week they took on the Cougars in 1v2. Cougars ran out winners 67-48. And Wildcats, they're coming off a win. They took on the Rays and they won that one 63-50. You commentated that one? How did the Wildcats go, my friend?
Look, they were pretty comfortable in the match. I think once they got that lead, they kind of just held the game and weren't looking to stretch it too well. Tried to stretch it, but I think the Mendy Rays were doing their best to stay with them as much as they could.
So the ladder, it doesn't matter what happens in this game. QUT are entrenched in 2nd on 178, and the Wildcats are in 7th on 52. So it doesn't matter who wins, the margin. If they win all the quarters, there's no positional change. The best that can happen for the Wildcats is they can go to 70 points. They'd still be 25 behind the Tigers, and the best for the QUT side would be 195, and they'd still be 16 behind the Cougars. So the Cougars got number 1 wrapped up. QUT got number 2 wrapped up. The USQ Jets have got number 3 wrapped up. The interest is 4, 5 and 6. 3 sides going for 1 position. And it starts in the next round, and we need to see if the Bull Sharks can beat the Cougars, undefeated Cougars. If they can at 5 o'clock, well, they'll be back into 4th. Then it's over to the Tigers. If the Tigers win, they could jump back into 4th. And then, of course, it comes down to tomorrow's game, Mendy Rays taking on USC Thunder. And that will be a big one for them. So, teams getting announced through the loudspeaker. You've picked the QUT side. Did you give me a margin?
No, I didn't. I'm going to go 22.
22. I'm going QUT by 27, and the game's going away now, and they get us underway through Wildcats. That was a bit of a late rush there. Looked like they had plenty of time, but they've rushed out in the court. Brittany Mould moved to centre, can't feed the circle. And we will... Ball is with Toya. Toya will take a shot.
Rolls it in.
And they're up on the board early. First goal to them. And Wildcats lead it early. Job to do. QUT, they weren't bad last week. They came up against a red-hot Cougar side. And they just had a bad second quarter. And so often with the Cougars, if you have a bad quarter, it could be a bad match.
That's it.
So Bachelor, quite brilliant last week. Starts again on fire. She's 1 from 1. Let's look at some stats coming into this game. The QUT side, they average 56.6 per game. They're third in the league in that. And defensively, they're 43.9. That's what they allow in. They're third in that as well. The Wildcats, they only score 41.5. That makes them 6th. And goals against, they let in 55 per game. And they sit in 7th place on that. So they are working hard here. Bared with it. She gave herself up there. Might not have been a replay, but she certainly gave it up.
Yeah, as soon as you give the umpire the signal that you think you've done something wrong, the umpire's going to call it, I think.
So don't forget, you can join us on the Facebook. Is that what you call it? The Facebook?
The Facebook.
Or Bookface sometimes.
Well, maybe for someone of your vintage, Millsy.
Well, the hits just keep on coming. We've started early. We're 2 minutes in, Joel's sledging me. And, of course, you can join us. Drop us a comment, drop us a line. Tell us where you're watching from. We love to hear from you. And don't watch that Olympics. That's rubbish. This is where the action is. So, great shot there from Toya. That is a great shot from her. And it's 2-1 to the Wildcats early in the first. Let's look at some personal stats. The number 1 shooter in the league in percentage. Just took a shot then. That is Alicia Adams-Tahara. She's 369 out of 411. She ranks 2nd in volume and number 1 in percentage at 90%. That's a pretty impressive stat. Joel, you're a shooter. Would you be happy with that?
Oh, it certainly would be. I wouldn't be complaining if I had those sort of stats.
Her shooting partner, Riley Bachelor, 258 from 345. She sits 6th in volume at 75%. And that's actually 18th ranking. So there's sometimes the rank is a little bit... if you only shoot 2 from 3 out of 3, you're at 100%. So sometimes the rankings are a little bit loose in that.
I think I did notice that if you go just purely on percentage,
Magic.
There's a game that we did a couple of weeks ago.
Magic.
Yes, that's right.
Yep.
Irvin, 3 from 3.
Yeah, she leads the league, 100% shooting.
It's pretty impressive.
A turnover here to the Wildcats. They lead it by 1. QUT just haven't quite clicked just yet. Keisha Grant back into the side. She's been out for 4 weeks, I think she missed, with a thumb injury, which she did playing touch, but she's back now. Dakota Newsom to the bench. She's filled in admirably for this side. Oh, contact here. Yes, it was.
There's those springs in Lenora Miss's legs.
You mentioned that, didn't you?
I did.
So
it's one of the real strengths, I think, for QUT. Both of their defenders are very springy, very good on the vertical lead.
And the Ferrari drives to the pocket. Lovely feed into Adams-Tahara. And Bachelor driving around the circle well. As a GA, you'd be happy with that, Billy?
Absolutely. I love the way Bachelor moves around the circle. Opens up the space a lot for Adams-Tahara. You can see a bit of a few bumps and shoulders and things happening there between Adams-Tahara and Hayley Mulheron. Looks like that's going to be an interesting battle.
Well, Mulheron's pretty tall. She wouldn't give away a lot of height to Adams-Tahara, which a lot of people do. So that could be a good matchup, as you said.
I've actually had a few training games against Hayley Mulheron, and it's always been fun.
Did she kick your butt?
I'd like to think that I got the better of the exchanges, but I'm sure she'd agree that she did as well.
The league, but just saying. So the ball back with QUT. They get a throw in here on the goal line. Of course, all the markings are in place for the Suncorp Super Netball, which is back in town. They've had I don't know what the right word is, a mixed-up preparation. They're all over the shop at the moment, but they're all here in Brizzy.
So I did get a bit confused during the week when I looked online to see what the fixtures were coming up, and no fixtures for this competition.
I was channel flicking on Thursday night, just looking for the footy, and hello, here's a game of netball on a Thursday. I don't think we've ever had a game on a Thursday, but took my interest. Oh, the Ferrari pulled it. No, she doesn't. Taken away by the umpire. Looked pretty good from here. but the umpire was only about 4 feet away, so we'll go with her. Of course, Kelly Finlay on the far side. This side is Buddy Niku. Don't forget, QUT in the orange. They're going left to right of your screen. And
nice
the
shot.
Wildcats.
Batchelor. That would have been 2 for a super shot if it was a Suncorp Super Netball match.
I've been lucky enough to observe most of the games. A lot of her shots do come from that range, so we'll be able to, if she ever can crack it, like I know she's a training partner, she's just about there. If she can crack it, she's going to light it up from that 2-point line. So, a couple of injuries to the Firebird, so you never know, she might get called in. One of them being Romelda. Apparently she's got a dodgy ankle at the moment, but she might be back, who knows?
Yeah, I did see that one, the rolling that ankle, didn't look too good.
And,
she managed to play on in that match though, didn't she?
Dwan's out at the moment because of the COVID protocols. A step call here on Brianna Gregory gives QUT another chance. They lead at 5-3, and we've played just on 6. Still a bit of a scrappy match at the moment.
It is. It's a bit end-to-end. It doesn't seem that either team's really gotten into a good rhythm yet.
Pass there. Batchelor leaps up, grabs it, and scores. And QUT, I think they're just starting to get it together now.
They are.
They lead at 6-3. Danger signs here for the Wildcats. They're swinging across, looking for the right option. Bit of a zone defense being played here by the Wildcats. Batchelor through the middle. That's one way of breaking it. Straight up the middle, and she does it beautifully. Opens up the circle. Adams Tahara, no mistake. 7-3, Joel.
It's starting. It's starting.
I only predicted 22. I said 27.
Hopefully the Wildcats can sort themselves out a bit and get back into the match. Nice
passes
pass.
like that. That was brilliant.
It wasn't even a home alone sort of situation. It was just right on the spot.
Courtney Baird just pinged it from midway and straight to the shooter. Amaris Toya did not miss.
Now that connection there between Veve and Adams Tahara, I think we're going to see a lot more of those passes throughout the afternoon.
Speaking of Amaris Toya, coming into this one, 79 from 102 at 77%. She ranks 20 in volume and 16th in percentage. But having said that, has not played every game. So Josephine Bingham, of course, plays a lot of the court time. As we said in the pre-game, she is injured at the moment. She copped a head knock 4 weeks ago. She's actually here in the crowd. I believe she can't do any exercise at the moment and is off work as well. So
rare miss from Adams Tahara.
Indeed. She only misses once out of every 10. That's what the stats saying.
That's the second she's missed. She actually missed the first
there
one.
She is there. We got to drink a bit of the sponsor's product. Well done. So, and she's had a pretty good season. I've been very impressed with her. I think I might have her shooting stats here. 164 from 211. Ranks 10th in volume, 13th in percentage at 78. That is pretty impressive. And the amount of work that young lady does on the court is phenomenal.
I have to say she's one of my favourite players to watch in the HART Sapphire series. Just moves so well around the court, opens up the space for the goal shooter so frequently. Yeah,
like does a lot of grunt work that probably doesn't get praised for, but you're 100% correct. Like does open up for the shooters, and yeah, it's when she plays well, they play well. It's one of those sort of situations for her team.
Now, I'm going to have to give you a rap here, Millsy. The reason why I've noticed that is because of your coaching when I used to have to do a similar sort of thing for Wests. So, yeah, it's like you say, it's one of those things. It's so easy to overlook if you're just watching where the ball's going. But if you watch the goal attack, quite often the work that they do is really critical in getting the nice open pass into the goal shooter.
You're welcome, Billy. You're embarrassing me with
another
all
miss
those
from
nice
Adams
words.
Tahara.
So she gets her own rebound though and gets the goal as well, and they are comfortable. 11-4, 6:23 gone. Sorry, 6:23 to play in this, the first. Probably just taking a little bit of time just to get their groove back with Keisha Grant coming into the line. Like I say, she's missed 4 weeks and looks like she's back.
Yeah,
judging by that pass.
Does.
That one, she caught it midair and got rid of it before she even landed. So looks like we've had some changes, have we? So any changes? No. We looked to the bench there. It looked like there'd been a change. Of course, Fallon getting the start today.
Speaking of, though, it looks like the Wildcats are about to make a change at goal attack.
Now, this is Kayla Anderson. Billy, I'm a bit caught here. I don't know anything about her. I heard she's come up from Ruby, and that's the extent of my knowledge of Kayla Anderson. Okay. They told me that about 2 minutes before we went on air, so I didn't have any time to research. So, as Adams Tahara gets another 13-4, they lead it by 9.
No, Anderson's taken another seat, so maybe no change coming yet.
And just playing with us. So, a few of the people from the league watching, of course, you can join us too. Drop us a line anytime you want. Ask Joel about men's netball. Will it make the Olympics, Joel? That's the big question on the socials this week.
I did see a comment of yours during the week about the requirements for sports being in the Olympics, so I think there is a fair bit of work to do. But hopefully netball around the world can come together and get it going.
Missa hits the deck. Well, yeah. I mean, I've been saying the same story. I'm like a broken record. I've been involved in many, many men's associations over the years, and the ladies need to somehow adopt men into it to get themselves in the Olympic program, and hopefully this is the trigger. Australia almost put us down for a gold if we get it at home. So probably 2 golds if you got men's there as well. But Junior Levy won't agree with that now that he's playing for New Zealand. So,
well, we've got 11 years.
Junior,
so hopefully he'll be
getting on a bit.
Retired by then, and so we'll have someone else coming through for Australia that will be able to do the job.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like, you know, you look at our Queensland 17 side, we've got some superstars there. In 11 years' time, they're going to be sort of late 20s, just starting to peak. I believe men peak a little bit later in their netball career than ladies, and yeah, that will be an amazing time.
Yeah.
16-4 QUT, without doing anything spectacular. I got control of this one.
See, Anderson's now on the court at goal attack.
There she is, first touch to her. Wants it again, doesn't get it. Back they go to Gaia. Mould hasn't played a lot of centre this year. They use it usually as a change-up. She's starting today. There's Anderson. Nice work by her. Shoots long and scores. She's 1 from 1. And if she never plays again, she'll lead the
equal
league
top shooter.
percentage. Adams Tahara, one-handed. That left hand just sticks it out. The ball sticks.
I did say that pass from Veve to Adams Tahara would be a frequent one today. There was another example.
Yeah, they go all right. Wildcats again. They get it and off the centre pass, or CPA as it's commonly called now. Bad pocket. Can't find.
Great hands by the Gribble.
Gribble's had a good year too. Steps on that one, fires it down. Another one with a lot of hang time. Her and Misa, if they could get that timing right where one goes up and then the other one comes down at the same time, my goodness, that'd be tough. Contact here on Mulherron. Nice hold there by Adams Tahara. From range for her and scores. So 18-5, under 3 to play. And Bachelor thought she was brilliant in her side, well beaten last week. She was exceptional. Actually scored more than Adams Tahara by volume, which is rare because
wow.
Yeah, but they really worked hard on Adams Tahara, and that opened it up for Bachelor, and she took a lot of opportunities, so she was very special last week. And I think she's going to have a great big final series. Mould finds Toya on the baseline.
Another example there of the goal attack, just drawing a defender away, which opened up Amaris Toya at the post there.
So 19-6. Will they get the 20th? They got 2 to do it. Adams Tahara in super shot range. Steps in now. Who's out? Mulherron. Steps around. Almost carefree the way she stepped around then. I'll take the shot here, thank you. 20-6. They lead it by 14. And Wildcats have got a lot to do to get back into this one, and that won't help. Looks like we've got a break.
Contact call, I think. Veve doing well to hold the space and force Donnelly through. Sorry, not Donnelly.
The long ball goes into Adams Tahara. 15 to diff, my friend. Sorry, didn't need the thing. Again, Veve in the pocket. Bachelor, that nice sweeping drive around, and the old give and go 3 times. Gets herself in a bit closer. Shoots and scores. Oh, we got changes aplenty. The Ferrari's gone to the bench. Dakota Newsom comes on with 1:16 to play. And we've got a break. Oh, that's a coach killer.
Tuatama Allsop's also in a goal attack for Riley Bachelor.
She's come on, and there's movement aplenty on the QUT bench. Paula just getting the team tuned up for the final series. Of course, next week, that is on next Sunday, 1 and 3. I don't know which game's which at this stage, and with the Super Netball teams in town, keep an eye on our socials for those game times.
Great ball movement down the court by the Wildcats there.
Nice transition on the turnover, and Anderson, she's lit them up. She's 2 from 2.
Yeah, I feel like she's just provided something different to my memory for names today is Gregory. I feel like she's just a little bit more of a mover and is really making the defenders work a little bit harder.
She's a little bit more Josephine Bingham-like.
Yeah, a little bit more along those sort of lines.
So, long pass across the court now. Fallon back to Mould. They're playing between themselves at the moment. Baird wants it to go there. Anderson, now the ball distributor. Oh, that was a loose pass.
Too far out in front, and there's a second loose pass.
We're inside the last minute, and the siren goes, does it? I thought I heard a siren, but it says still 2 seconds on the clock. Is there another netball on? Ah, there's another game over there. I didn't see it. That's our siren.
There we go.
Confused the living heck out of me. So quarter time comes. It's all QUT 23-7. Stay with us. We'll be back straight after these messages.
Make sure you're right, you jump on social media, Sapphire series, Netball, give us a like, give us a follow, stay up to date with all the news and any changes in game.
Welcome back. HART Sapphire Series 2021 is the tournament we're here for. It is the last round of the prelim games. My name's Dave Mills. We've got a crackerjack game on between the Wildcats taking on the QUT netball side. It's 7th versus 2nd, and it doesn't matter what happens. That's where they'll finish the preliminary rounds. And at the moment, it is all QUT gearing up for the finals next week, 23-7. Joined in commentary by Joel Wise. Joel, what did you make of that quarter?
Very comfortable for the QUT side. A little bit of nerves to begin with, nerves or settling in, but once they did settle in, they just ran away with that quarter.
Yeah, the Ferrari, you said it in the pre-game, you said the pass from Verver to Adams Tahara will be on, and indeed it was. We've got some shooting stats. Adams Tahara a little bit down by her standards, only 17 out of 21. Jeez, we're hard markers, aren't we? Riley Bachador, she only took 7 shots, she hit 6 of them, and Tutoyama Alsop hasn't had a shot yet. So for the other side, Toya is 5 from 5 and Anderson's 2 from 2, so they haven't missed a shot yet. There's our umpires, of course, Buddy Niku on the left there, and the one on the right. Is it Carly Failing? Where's my piece of paper? There it is, right in front of me. It is Kelly Finlay. Sorry, my apologies there. So, got to get to know the umpires better. I've had a love-hate relationship with umpires over the years.
Don't
so
all players and
they're not my
coaches have
friends.
love-hate relationship with umpires?
I don't think any of them are friends of mine on Facebook. So, but anyway.
I have to admit, I did actually.
Oh no!
I played a social season with Nicola Stevens a number of years ago now. So
you brown nosy you. So the ball back with QUT. They get the second quarter underway, and just like to take this opportunity to thank all our major principal sponsor, HART Sports. They've been with us 3 years. We hope it continues. Legasic Jewelers, Mizuno, Mount Franklin and Powerade, they are our major partners. And of course, Bondi Vite and Strap-It, the official partners. Without them, we wouldn't be here today. And all these incredible pictures have been brought to you by the team at Double Take Sports. They're here every week. We've become a little family, haven't we, Joel? Like just the team from Double Take.
Yeah. Nice getting here every week and seeing everybody.
So the Wildcats with it. Oh, Toya misses her first. Somehow it's kept in brilliantly by Gribble.
Anderson did well to get possession back there.
So Anderson, she's come on late in the first, been impressive, passes off there and gets it back. Oh, it's ping-pong netball at the moment. And she misses. It must be this end. This is the missing end.
Quite possibly.
So eventually it falls to Amaris Toya, and she gets the first for the Wildcats. It's 1-1 in this quarter. So Batchelor back out there. That was a very, very short time for the, and looks like Dakota Newson's gone to the bench as well. They're back to the starting line. So that was a very brief 1 minute and 16 seconds for those players to come on. And
somewhat surprised that they didn't see a little bit more court time, given that, as you mentioned, they're wanting to just tune the squad up.
So let's have a little look-see. There's been a couple of changes, I think, for at least one change. Looks like Donnelly's gone to wing defence for them. And Liliana Rennie has come on at goalkeeper. So they've changed the defensive end. Guys still at GD. Mold still at centre. And the offensive end is the way they finished the first quarter. Adams Tahara scores again. It's 26-9. And we've got 13 to play in the second quarter. And again, Wildcats working hard. Look at this. They're playing like a bit of a Kiwi zone at the moment. Toya comes through it quite easily. QUT, we're almost in like a little box zone there at the top of the circle. They fire it down. Oh, nice pass there. And a brilliant tap on from the Ferrari.
Unfortunately, Adams Tahara just off balance, had to tap it back out.
To Bachelor who sinks from range. Here's another one of those super shots, my friend. If you're listening, Firebirds. How do you get into that team? Like, you've got Tipper Dawn, Gretel, and anyway. Becky Stowers, Mia Stowers there as well. So lots of great shooters in Queensland at the moment. So disappointing our 19s couldn't go away because they were laced with talent in the shooting. Well, not laced in talent for the whole 12, but the shooting in particularly. As Anderson sinks another one. Speaking of young talent, she looks about teens, 17, 18, and she's playing exceptionally well out here. And what a pass there from Grant into Adams Tahara. Big smile on the dial. And she gets goal number 28. So QUT bouncing back from their defeat last week. Did you see that one, Jolie?
I didn't know. I was otherwise engaged for that match, so I wasn't able to watch it. Although I could always go back and watch it on replay. So
well, we've got them all on the YouTube channel, and I was probably at my commentary best, Joel, so it's worth listening to.
Oh, I'll have to go and get some pointers.
Did some old dad jokes with Hannah, and they went over like a lead balloon.
The best kind.
So Veve fires it to the corner. Grant gets it.
Another great pass from Grant, off balance as she's falling out of court.
They've missed her the last few weeks, and they are a lot stronger with her in the team. Of course, the Jets have played QUT twice. They haven't come up against Keisha Grant yet, so that'll be interesting if they meet in the finals. Jets will be playing the 3rd versus 4th game. We don't know who the 4th team is. We know the Jets are there. Just trying to work out who will be the 4th one, which we will know by tomorrow.
A bit scrappy here from QUT.
Yeah, Adams Tahara to go a long way. Bachelor wants it, can't get it. All contact, no, play on. That was a good effort by Donnelly, and keeps it in on the Courtney Baird with speed to burn down the court. Breaks down now. And the Ferrari's obstructing. She's out of play. And Baird with it. Do you like Mould at centre? She's been playing wing defence most of the season, but started at centre. She's held it all game today.
I have to admit, Brittany Mould's another one that I really enjoy watching play. Just the way she always attacks the ball. Whenever she gets it, she's always looking to get a nice strong pass off. So I think either position, I think she's you'd want her on court.
So changes are plenty. Last game of the season for the Wildcats. Now, where do they go from here? Like, it's a young side. You'd have to keep them together. Otherwise, there's no point blooding them all this year. So they'll get better with the experience of 14 games under their belt for this year.
Yeah, definitely.
Had a couple of wins. Had a draw against the Tigers. So they're a team on the rebuild.
There's certainly a lot there to rebuild around too. There's some really good young talent there.
Well, they recruited pretty well. Like, they got Baird over from the Cougars. That was a great scoop for them. Josephine Bingham stepped up, so they've got some good players there, as you say. Brianna Gregory's a great target for them. Toya has shown, a lot of glimpses there. And, of course, Liliana Rennie, young player, still at school, and she's got a huge future as a keeper. So there is a lot of talent there, my friend.
Like you say, I think a lot of it's just going to come down to the experience and just continuing to develop those younger players.
So they get a turnover here. I think that was Donnelly picked it up off Veve. And the Wildcats score. And we've got a timeout.
QUT on 30, Wildcats 14, 9 minutes left to go in the quarter.
It's a margin of 16 and the Wildcats call a timeout. That's what we were at quarter time. So they've fought back well here, the Wildcats. The game's not getting away from them at the moment. It was 23-7. We'll listen into the Wildcats. What would you say if you're the coach, my friend?
Oh, good question. I think there's a few comments to make in terms of the way they're working in their defensive end. Attacking-wise, I think they're not going too badly. It's just making sure some of those passes stick, I think.
Well, let's listen in.
When you hit the top of that circle and Kayla came, it just flipped it. Yeah?
Really understood.
When you come around and you have to force that ball up, just make sure you take that last step across because it's that reach that you're not getting it. So it's that. And when you're standing and the ball's there, you have to angle your hips because you're flat to the ball and that's why you can't see it. So move your hips. Girls, place defensive effort all the way down the court, yeah? I reckon that back door on the centre pass straight to you. Let's have a look at that again. And then if they start coming, you hightail it to the goalpost. That's going to go in. Yeah, let's go, yes.
So Coach Lynch calling it like it is and wants to look at a few, defensively, just wants to make a few changes there. I call it the Superman move, where you don't drive to your opponent and then go up. You take a step from like a metre or two away and then try and leap up for the ball. So she wants them to drive to the player, then go up for fair contestment. What did you take anything else from that?
I think, as we were just saying, in terms of play development, notice there Megan Lynch making some specific comments to Rennie. So just some of those things that she needs to learn to just improve the game a little bit.
So it is, the ball has been turned over and it comes back to the aforementioned Rennie. So she'll get us going. And they fire it across. Mould does well to keep that in. That was going out for all money. And in transition, nice pass there from Donnelly. But the Ferrari pickpockets Mould and away they go here. It's transition time now for QUT. And Keisha Grant with it.
So I notice here Lily Grubel out at wing defence and Danielle Taylor's gone back to goal defence.
The switcheroo in the defensive end.
I don't think I've seen Grubel outside of the circle before.
You're in for a treat. So they fire it across. Grant can pull it in, somehow keeps it, and Flick passes it back.
Toes outside though. The,
Buddy, come on, let it go. That was good. Buddy on the spot. There's nobody's buddy today with that call. Joel, seriously, that was funny. You're killing me, brother. You're killing me.
I always say that so long as you get a reaction, good or bad, it doesn't really matter. If you get nothing, that's the worst. So I apologise there. I'll try and make sure I'm a bit more on it next time.
Moving on. So the ball back with the Wildcats. Mould with it now. Fires it across. Guy looks down. Here they go again. This defence from QUT choking him through the middle. Forcing it wide now. Mould will look in again. Baird has to look in. Back they go. They have to go back to the transverse a lot. It's now with Mould. She fires it across to no one. And the defence from QUT just stifled the attack totally. And they get the ball back. So margin of 16. That was what it was at quarter time. The flow of the goals has slowed down a little bit. They've only scored 7 this quarter, QUT. Good defence by Wildcats, my friend.
Look, I think the QUT, to me, look pretty comfortable in that attacking end. I think Wildcats do need to work a fair bit on their defence to really pressure the passes into the circle a bit more.
So Pachaloa from range misses, gets her own rebound, passes off to Adams Tahara. She misses, gets her own rebound, and scores 31-14. They lead the quarter by 1. So obstruction call here. It's on Gribble. So she's out of play. Wildcats get us going again. Looking for a bit of pace. Brianna Gregory in there. Just inside super shot range. That very exaggerated style. Bends the knees a long way down. Gets a nice arc on the shot. And keeps the margin to 16. So not a bad second quarter for the Wildcats.
No, not at all. I think, not to take away from the Wildcats, but the QUT don't quite look as slick as they were in that first quarter either.
Do you think they put the, what do they say, put the rack away, the peel away?
No, I don't think so. I think they're just, I'd probably say, if anything, they're just playing within themselves a little, just playing a comfortable game rather than really pushing to make the most of this competition.
Well, we know next week they will be playing the Cougars. It'll either be 1 or 3 on Sunday, we believe. Again, keep an eye on our website, sapphireseries.com.au, and the tickets will be on sale there as well. So just keep an eye on that. All the game times will be printed once we know what's happening with this Suncorp Super Netball Series. But at this stage, it's 1 and 3 next Sunday. So should be some good games next Sunday, my friend.
Oh, definitely. Wouldn't want to miss those.
So it'll be 1v2 is Cougars taking on QUT. 3v4 will be Jets versus someone. So either Thunder, Bull Sharks or Tigers at this stage. What a great comp, eh? Here we are, last round, and we've still got 6 teams going for 4 spots.
That's what you want.
So back with Verver, fires it in. Adams Tahara does well, steps away. Misses again. She has missed a few today, but gee, she gets her own rebounds more often than not. In fact, I can't think of one where she's missed and not got the rebound.
Yeah,
so technically she's shooting at 100%. So, because I always say you can shoot at 10% if you want, if you're getting all your rebounds. So QUT call a timeout. I don't think Coach Stewart will be happy with what she's seeing. Just look at those shooting stats there. Adams Tahara 25 from 31. Bachelor now 8 from 11 at 73. On the other side, Anderson 6 from 6. And Toya 8 from 9. Gregory 2 from 2. So that is one other stat we'll look at. Just look at the turnover conversion. 56 for QUT, only 23 for the Wildcats. So we'll try and listen in to see what Paula has to say. I think she'll try and address those stats right now. Oh, we can hear music at the moment, Billy.
Music to group 2.
So timing on the jump on defence is what I'm hearing from Paula Stewart on that one. So looking for a bit more defensive pressure. They've held them to just 9 this quarter, so hard taskmaster there from the coach.
Yeah, I think when the margin isn't as big as it was in the first quarter, that's always going to cause a coach to look to address some aspects.
So the margin is 17 at the moment. It was 16 at half time, so the QUT side are only winning it by 1, which is a great indictment on how well the Wildcats are going at the moment. So Brittany Mole with it again, gets us underway. They get a chance to tie up the quarter time score at least, or it'll be half time if that makes sense. So back with Mould. They're being very patient here. This is where you can see they're doing this it's kind of zone. It's not a solid zone, but it's working well for them. Oh, loose hands here. Mould keeps it in somehow. Back they go again, this time to Donnelly. So Courtney Baird, Anderson, and they get it into Brianna Gregory. There's that double jump. We talked about that.
Just didn't get the timing right there, which allowed her to pass off to Anderson.
Maybe they're listening to the commentary, mate, because they're doing everything we say.
So,
so another goal there to Wildcats. Get the margin back to 16. That's what it was at the halftime break, so they've done very well. They fired across. Great pass there from Grant to Adams Tahara. Rennie under pressure. Forces a miss. Can't pull in the rebound. Comes off her hands last. Or does it? No, the umpire says it came with QUT last. And away they go, the Wildcats. So, and great transition here. This will be a chance for them to win the quarter if they score here. Brianna Gregory perfectly positioned. So, oh, missed shot there. And scores. Looks like there's been a change in the defensive end for QUT, Joel.
Yeah, there has. Looks like Gribble's gone back to goalkeeper.
So you didn't see her out for long?
No, but so yeah, interesting to see that she's gone back into keeper with Danielle Taylor back at wing defence.
So Brianna Gregory with it now. Wildcats doing well this quarter. Nice work. Oh, loose hit. Oh, Baird can pick it in. Oh, could be a replay. And gives herself up again. I think the most honest side in the league is the Wildcats. They definitely give themselves up. That's a shame because that could have almost sealed the quarter for them. And the goal here gets the margin back to 16, and it's QUT centre now. You'd think they'd probably pull away in this last part of the quarter and get the 2 competition points. Grant with it into Adams Tahara. Oh, loose hands here. Oh, brilliantly picked up there. Is that Guy? I think it is.
Guy, yes.
And away they go. So Wildcats back in it. This is where they miss Bingham a little bit. When it gets a bit congested here, Bingham can use a pace to open things up a little bit. So Baird doing a good job at the moment. Fires it into Gregory. Gets the contact call just inside the circle. Anderson shoot or pass off. The youngster passes off to Gregory in good positioning. 2 to play, and it's a margin of 15. Wildcats lead it by 1, second quarter, Joel. There's a turn-up. How's my maths? 15? Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Sorry,
I saw you look at the score. I thought
my brain just froze there for a second.
So you are a teacher, my friend. Yeah. so back with Anderson for the quarter win. She can't get it, but Gregory saves it, and we've got an obstruction call on Gribble. So Grana Gregory can get the margin to 2 for this quarter and does. Boom shakalaka, we're down to 14. One more turnover will probably do it for the Wildcats. And there it is. On cue, Donnelly. Spectacular.
Donnelly read that so well.
They are listening to me. I knew it. So, back it goes. So Mould just need to play with a bit of I was just about to say a bit of caution right here, and they threw it away. We've got 1 to play in this, 1:12 to play in this second quarter. They lead it by 2, the Wildcats, getting the margin to 14. Do we dare to dream? Could this be an upset of all upsets? Come from 16 down, my friend.
That would be an upset, I think. I can't see it personally, but at the same time, I'd love to see it.
So that's disappointing for all the viewers, Joe. A nice shot there. From
bit of a realist, unfortunately.
47 seconds now. This is the most important centre pass for the Wildcats thus far, and they called in a break here, which didn't really affect the play, but that's good. It's used up a bit of time for them. So 36 seconds. A goal here wins the quarter. Oh, a loose pass. Oh, QUT will have a chance to tie it up, and with 29 seconds, they might be able to get 2 for 1. So quick play here that goes to Verver, looks down, goes long. Bachelor grabs it. Outside the circle, Bachelor in super shot range, kicks it off to Verver. She's looking for the shooters. Finds Adams Tahara, this to tie up the quarter. She misses, gets her own rebound. We've said that 1,000 times today. And scores again, and disappointment for the Wildcats, but they will get 1 competition point out of it with the drawn quarter. They could have won it. They had it twice there to probably win the quarter. That's that experience we're talking about, my friend.
Exactly.
So an even quarter, and it's 36-20. It's all QUT at the moment. Stick with us. Don't go to the Olympics. We'll be back straight after these messages.
Sapphire sponsors for your club. Go find those tickets on.
Did you know that majority of netballers aren't wearing the appropriate shoes on court? Running shoes or generic trainers don't provide the grip and support for the quick, dynamic movements needed in a game. It's time to make the swap with Mizuno.
Hey Netty fans, Netball Queensland is seeking your support for our Diamond Spirit program in 2021. This program is absolutely amazing because it provides opportunities for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students in the most remote and regional communities in Queensland. Every dollar that is raised will go towards the leadership programs and also providing the opportunity for people in those most remote communities in Queensland to play the sport that we absolutely love. Your donation will make a huge impact on the lives of our Diamond Spirits girls, simply giving them the opportunity to follow their dreams. So, to donate today, jump on the website or make sure you make a donation when you register for Netty in 2021. And don't forget, if your donation is greater than $2, it will be tax deductible.
Welcome back to Nissan Arena here for the HART Sapphire Series 2021. We are in the last round of prelims before we start semis next week. My name's Dave Mills, joined in commentary by Joel Wise. Joel, we got QUT, they're sitting in second, gearing up for the semi-finals, taking on the Wildcats today. But after a slow start with the Wildcats, they've drawn that half. QUT unfortunately lead it by 16 at the moment, 36-20. What did you think of the first quarter, my friend?
First quarter?
Oh, first half even, yeah.
I think
do the whole half, eh?
It was a bit of a half of two halves, if that makes sense. First quarter, QUT just absolutely ran away with it, but then second quarter, I feel like it was a combination of Wildcats just improving, but QUT sort of coming off the pace a little as well.
So there's a few highlights there on the screen. Don't forget, as we say, semi-finals next week. So the tickets go on sale Monday, 26th of July for our final series. You go to sapphireseries.com.au and there's a link there to Ticket Tech. Now, every time you buy a ticket, you'll be able to go into the draw to win $2,500 worth of gear from our Sapphire Series sponsors for your club. So when you buy your ticket, you nominate your favourite club. I'd say go for the Queensland Suns men's netball team, wouldn't you? Yeah, nominate them, and we could do a $2,500 worth of stuff. So make sure you get on there. And speaking of sponsors, boy, do we have a great range of them. We certainly do. So HART Sports is our principal sponsor. Legassic Jewelers, Mizuno, Mount Franklin, and Powerade. I drink a lot of that stuff. They are our major partners. And Bondi Vibe keeps me healthy, as does Strap It, keeps my knees in one place. So they're our official partners. Pitches today and every game this week and this season are brought to you by Double Take Sports. Gina and the team, they are the best in the business.
I was going to say, old knees do need a lot of Strap It tape.
They really do. I can tell you that. Don't forget today, don't go anywhere. At 5 p.m, we have got a great match. We've got the undefeated Cougars. They're 13-0. They're taking on the Bond Bull Sharks. The Bull Sharks with it all to play. They can make the 4. They're just 4 points behind the Thunder. And if they win and win well, they could literally jump into the 4th spot, and then they'll be playing the Jets next week. So that is a massive match. That young side played the Jets last week, and they were brilliant. So hopefully we get to see them go again. Hopefully that wasn't their grand final last week, and they can deliver it and really cause the upset and beat the Cougars. Then at 7, is the Jets a little bit out of sorts at the moment. They've lost 3 straight, and they've taken on the Tigers, who ironically have won 3 straight. And if they can win that one, they can maybe jump into the 4. And then tomorrow, it's now 11:30, the game's changed. It is Mendy Ray's last home game, taking on the USC Thunder. That'll be, you're covering that one?
I am, yes. I'll be in commentary with Hannah Davies.
Hannah D and JW will be taking that one for you from 11:30 a.m. They'll be in the bubble, and they'll be in Townsville. Just looking at the stats, what have we got there? Shooting stats, Toya, 8 from 9. Anderson 7 from 8 and Gregory 5 from 6. That's for the Wildcats. On the other side, QUT 28 out of 36. Adams Tahara, Bachelor 8 from 11, 73%, and Tutayama Alsop yet to take a shot. And what other stats standing out with turnovers? 20 to the Wildcats, 16 to QUT. Infringements pretty clean, 19 to QUT and 14 to the Wildcats. But the big one is the turnover conversion rate. QUT sitting at a nice healthy 60%. That's sort of what you aim for as a coach. Wildcats only at 31. There's our umpires. Look at them there. They look magnificent. Buddy Nuku on the right and Kelly Finlay on the left. So we're good to go. The timekeeper says we're good to go. And the second half gets underway with Veve. Any changes standing out for you, my friend? Can you see anything?
Not as I cast my eyes across the floor.
Looks like QUT as they finish the second half. The second quarter.
And I think Wildcats are the same as well.
Anderson getting some big minutes, so she's come on. The youngster from the Rubies, and done very well. Like, that's
great effort by Brittany Moll to keep that one in.
7 out of 8. So since she's come on and wants it again, gets it back. She's going from 8 from 9, and boom shakalaka misses. Oh, I talked that up too much. So Missa on the transition, and away go the QUT side. They bring the ball down the court beautifully, don't they?
They really do. It's just such a fluid motion of the ball down court for QUT.
So back with Keisha Grant on the outside. A long shot. Bachelor door. Who else? And the range at 38-20. So first 2 belong to the QUT side. They fire it in through Grant. Grant with it now. Falls away. Adams Tahara, and as expected, nothing but net. QUT have come out with a better energy in this second half, my friend.
I can imagine Paula Stewart wouldn't have been too happy with that second quarter, so looks like they're responding.
Do you think rockets were delivered?
Oh, I think there might have been 1 or 2.
Kicks up bottom, perhaps?
Quite possibly.
So back with QUT now.
They certainly do look like they're back onto it a bit more urgently than they were in that second quarter.
Donnelly pickpockets that one. Takes it off Keisha Grant. Grant with the speed. Donnelly with the arms and was able to get it in and ripped it out of there. So we're back with the Wildcats now. This has been a nice transition until that was thrown at the foot of Anderson. She wasn't happy about it either.
It's never great as a shooter when the ball comes at your feet.
Looks can kill. That one bounced straight off her toes. And Wildcats get it back. It's been a bit of a loose couple of minutes here. Both sides turning it over. Donnelly with it now. Here's this high zone this time being shown by the QUT side, and it works a treat. Adams Tahara able to pull it in, and Bachelor under the ring scores the goal, and just like that, QUT back to where they were in the first quarter with this nice fluid transition and fast offense, and they lead it by 40 to 20 right now. Contact call here on Mould. Cleaned up by our Burl girls from the under 13 rep side from Cunubia Park. They're, of course, in the Wildcats catchment area, so we're probably looking at some future Wildcat stars there. This is the under 13 rep side, which was supposed to play in May, but, well, we know why they didn't play in May. The other C word.
Wide open at home there for Adams Tahara.
Adams Tahara did the QUT all alone, scores the goal, 42-20. And it's with Keisha Grant again. Nothing for QUT.
Well, she was solo sailor around the world, is that right?
Well done, sir.
Was it around the world?
Yep, she was the first female to sail around the world. Of course, Jessica Watson is the youngest female to sail around the world, but she was about 20 years later.
Again, I think showing your age a bit there, Nilsy.
Mate, great Australians. It doesn't matter how old you are.
This
great
is true.
Australians.
This is true.
So timeout Wildcats, they've come out firing the QUT side. They've taken a 16-goal margin and they've blown it out to 23 in the blink of an eye. We've only played 3.5, so the Wildcats call a timeout. This will be their last timeout of the season. Let's listen in and see what they have to say. So, trying to hear him. There we go.
Further all the way out, and then either come in or let them come through and cut in behind. Yeah? Nice and strong from the get-go, girls. All right, let's go.
Well, there you go. A combination of the mask and the music, and I didn't get a lot of that, Joel. What about yourself?
Me neither. It is hard to listen to people when they've got a mask on. Both not being able to hear them, but also not getting those visual cues from what they're seeing the shape of their mouth, I think, too.
Bit of a lip reader, are you, my friend?
Oh, not a lip reader as such, but it just adds a bit of communication when you can see what they're saying, I think.
There's a lot of noise in the venue, of course. We've got the obligatory, Taekwondo tournament going on in the background there. You might occasionally catch it when we go up high. And we've got some volleyball as well. It's a massive arena here at Nissan. So, and of course, netball is the centre focus. So a turnover here, pickpocketed there by Verver. And look at this transition, 3 passes, they're in, and the flick pass again from Grant, throwing it before she even lands. Bachelor in the super shot range. Oh, misses this time, but her partner in crime, Adams Tahara. We don't have rebound stats, but they'd be impressive today.
Certainly would be. You can see Hayley Mulheron's on a goal defence for the Wildcats.
Mulheron had a rumour a couple of weeks ago that she might be back in the Scottish side at the end of the year. I don't know how that'll work with COVID and all that, but that's the rumour I'm hearing. So my sources on the other side of the world tell me. So transition time again. It's starting to fall away a little bit here for the Wildcats as they get an intercept there. Rennie does well. Liliana Rennie, she's been good when she's out there. As has that young lady. Nearly crashed into the sponsor's product. Danielle Taylor just cleared those advertising awnings.
You never like seeing that.
Thought we were going to have a face plant there. But they have got the spongy mats around the outside of the court, which is good. So Wildcats looking to break this run of goals. We need a Mizuno momentum shift. And can Gregory do it? She can. There it is, a Mizuno momentum shift the way of the Wildcats. Cuts the
margin
back to just 24. And another turnover here. So a chance. Loose pass there from Mulheron.
Control.
Just slipped out of her hands, I think.
One of those ones that I think she went to pull it back and just ball gone just too far.
We've all been there, my friend. It's like the spoken word. You're trying to take it back.
That's right.
No, I didn't mean to say that. So, Bachelor shoots from range and it scores yet again. 46 to 21, margin of 25. So you said 22, I said 27. We're both looking a bit skinny at the moment.
Although, I mean, the Wildcats did hold the second quarter to 13 all, so if they can get back on top of it and control that ball a bit better than they just did.
It's a 10-1 run for this quarter, and if you take the last part of the second quarter, they're on a 12-1 run. They scored the last 2 of the second quarter, the QUT side. So they're on a 12-1 run. That's very hard to say quickly. Bachelor super shot range, scores again. She's a class shooter, and it's on full display today. 13 from 17. I'd say most of those 13 have been from distance.
Yeah, I think I've only seen her shoot one from, or one under the post at least.
Doesn't mind a long shot and doesn't mind getting them in either.
And here's another one.
Mulherron, short obstruction, but no, again.
Even with the pressure, she drains it just so coolly.
So the QUT run continues. We're at the 14-1 run at the moment. This is a statement for finals next week. Look what we can do when we put our mind to it. They fire it back. Oh, Batchelor will nearly pick that off. So Wildcats forced to go back a lot. Gregory with it, holding space, but it falls the way of Anderson. Passes off, but there's that elevation, Joel. Don't know why I called you Greg then. Who is Greg Wise?
I can't say I know any Greg Wises.
You haven't got a brother?
Nope. Well, I've got a brother, but he's not Greg.
So we will call him Greg from now on. So back with QUT through Grant onto Verver, and he called that in the pre-game, the pass from Verver to Adams Tahara.
It's almost automatic from Verver. She gets the ball, turns and releases just so frequently because she's so confident that Adams Tahara will have position and will be in a spot to take that pass easily.
Adams Tahara is one of those players that you can throw a bad pass to and she'll make it look good.
Yeah.
Like,
except for that one just then.
Except for that one, but yeah, they're the players you love to play with.
Yeah.
You know. So Junior Levy, another one of them. I never used to mind playing with him. So back we go with Wildcats on transition. Anderson onto Baird. Baird, she runs a long way every game. Gregory can't handle it and falls the way of Batchelor, believe it or not. Oh, we've got a turnover.
The contact call.
The way of, looks like, is that Taylor out?
That is.
So Taylor's out of play. And Gregory gets a chance. That jump, that's what Paula Stewart was talking about. They're just not quite holding it for 3. They're about going up at about 2. I think she wants them going sort of like 2.5. So they can hang that last part of the 3 seconds.
It'd be better if they had one and then the other 2. They're both very much sort of jumping at the same time rather than doing it sort of one after the other.
Maybe if they could get that right. Offside call here on Donnelly.
Considering the height that they both get on their jumps, if they could time it better, that would be a nightmare for shooters.
I was talking to Paul about the height. I said they both seem to get incredible elevation. She said it's not only the height. She said have a look at them. It's a lot to do with the hang time. So they tend to hang there a lot, and I hadn't noticed that until she pointed that out to me, but she's right on that one. So a missed shot here from Adams Tahara. Nearly gets her own rebound back. There's been a change for the Wildcats. It looks like it's Sinead Southern has come on. She tells me she's from the Logan area, and so that's the, you'd think that'd be the Wildcats catchment area, but here she is with the QUT side, so she's probably a student there, I'd say. And gets a first intercept. She's been on the court, 10 seconds?
Amaris Toyer's come on to goal attack for the Wildcats.
So Anderson did well while she was out there. She hit 7 out of 10, 70%, including her first 6. So
great intercept by Rennie. Just read that beautifully and came through to get both hands on the ball.
Liliana Rennie's had a great season. Hasn't seen a lot of court time. Obviously, when you're behind Mulherron and co, you're probably not getting as much time as you'd like. But and Donnelly, sorry, not Donnelly. Guy has been the other circle defender. But when she's been out there, she's done really well, and she's fairly tall and agile. So big future there.
You can see for QUT as well. Tuatama Allsop's on a goal attack for Riley Batcheldorf.
So Missa does incredibly well on the, to get the defensive pressure and get the ball, but then throws it away. And we're back with the Wildcats.
Another change for the Wildcats at wing attack. Can't quite make out who that is yet.
It's would be, I'm not sure either. Let's see when she turns around. Is that's not Anderson, no?
No.
And it's back with QUT at the moment. Oh, Fallon, of course. We're used to seeing her at the other end. So Rennie has it, gets it taken out of the hands by Alsop. And QUT, they've just started to splutter a little bit. It was very impressive, 13-3. 15-3 run since the last 2 minutes of the second quarter. And Wildcats looking to answer. Toya, nowhere to go. Fires it across and pushed off the mark. Brianna Gregory should have held a little bit longer there. She went with the flight of the ball, and that was too easy for the QUT defenders. Long ball. Mulholland does well, gets a hand on it, knocks it out court. So we haven't seen Tutama Elsop have a shot yet. This is her second stint in the game. Played a little bit of the first quarter, about 1 minute 16, I think it was.
About that.
Didn't get a lot of opportunity in the first. Maybe she'll see it at the match from here.
Although when you look at the volume, Adam Stahara having taken 46 shots to Bachelor's 18, it's not all that surprising that Tuatama Allsop hasn't shot many yet. Any, I should say.
So Adam Stahara came in with 369. She's got 36 today, so she's gone past 400 goals. That is very good for a season. Charlie Bell at 394, so she's the #1 shooter at the moment in volume and percentage. But Charlie Bell plays later today. So the ball back with QUT now. And it goes to Dakota Newson, who's come on at centre. So Newson and Grant, there'll be some speed to burn in there and not a lot of height.
No.
Two of the smaller players in the league.
That's right.
And of course Dakota Newson, the youngest player in the league. And
I think, as you say, though, they make up for their lack of height with their speed.
Dakota Newson, I can't believe that she's only 16, you know. It's ridiculous. And she's been thrown in the deep end, like Grant busted her thumb. So she's been forced to play and has played well and played big matches. Like she played against the Jets, she played against the Cougars. You know, so that's as good as tough as it gets in this league. And she's done really well. So Gregory forced to go back to Mulherron. And he's just not able to get it in the circle with ease. Gets to Gregory this time. She shoots and scores. Brianna Gregory, the stats keep racking up. She's 10 from 11 at 91%.
Another break there for Grant.
So Brianna Gregory is 79% shooter coming into this one, and she is now at 91% for this one. From super shot range, second guessed herself there, went to shoot, but I'll get an obstruction call on anyways. That elevation is causing a bit of grief for the shooters from Wildcats at the moment.
Both called for obstruction there.
So 11 from 12. Wildcats fighting back a little bit here. It's a 15-6 quarter now. Remembering it was 13-1 not that long ago.
Unfortunately, can't control that centre pass.
They're on a 5-2 run, but just as I speak, QUT turn it over.
And Sapalima takes her first shot, 1 from 1.
Just got distracted there. We've got the big screen that they have here for the Firebirds and the Bullets, and it just showed some magnificent seafood on the screen. Not sure why. So it falls the way of Adam Stahara. Obstruction call from range, shoots and scores, and just like that, it's back to a 27-point game. It seems like the QUT side can turn it on when they want to. Oh, nice pass there. That is a brilliant pass from Gregory.
Looked left and right and then just fired it straight through the middle.
And the missed shot from Toya gets picked up by Gregory, and she's having some game. This stats, she's 12 from 13. So she is looking good at 92%. If I could get a bit more volume to her, that would be good. So, oh, here we go. No. Thought we were going to see the first shot, but nice, unselfish play.
Second. She shot one just before Millsy.
I missed that one. That's when I was distracted by the seafood.
Oh, right.
Oh, look, there it is again. They're killing me.
Haven't had enough lunch today, Millsy.
Oh, I haven't had any lunch, my friend. So,
ball
back with the Wildcats. We're inside the last minute. We've got 14 seconds to play. Brianna Gregory ripped that one in, and the shot. It's been a great quarter from her. She's 13 from 14, and the margin back to 26. So they win it by 10 at the moment, 18-8. And there is a penalty pass, a shot right on. This is a Bachelor Law shot, but Adam Stahara will take it and says, I missed it. So she missed the shot. 54-28. We've played 3 quarters. We'll be back to get the last quarter straight after these messages.
As a small-town girl from a tight-knit family, I was nervous about moving to the city to study at QUT. But I soon found my feet, thanks in part to the Ucharu unit, who help Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students like me adapt and thrive. At QUT, I've taken every opportunity that's come my way and was named the Queensland Law Society's First Nations Law Student of the Year. It's been a challenging journey, and QUT is helping me succeed.
Welcome back. We're at HART Sapphire Series, last rounds before the finals in the 2021 competition. We're at Nissan Arena, which is in the southern suburbs of Brisbane. And if you haven't heard, we are now in Olympic City, my friend. Dave Mills is my name. Joel Wise. How good was that announcement the other night?
Oh, it was fantastic. Fantastic.
I don't know, did you get a chance to go to Sydney 2000?
No, I didn't. Watch from afar.
If you haven't been to Olympic Games, I've had the privilege of being to two. And it is unbelievable. Like I ended up watching sports I'd never watched in my life, like European handball and stuff like that. And the atmosphere is electric, and it's great for our city. Who knows? Maybe netball will be there. I've been pushing pretty hard all my adult life to get men's involved with proper netball, so we could get an Olympic opportunity, and maybe it'll happen this time. Anyway, we are in the last game for the Wildcats. No matter what happens, they can't advance to the semis. There's the QUT side. They've done it pretty easily so far, Joel. That one, that last quarter, they won 18-8. They had a little hiccup in the second, 13 all, but 54-28. What do you say for the Wildcats? It's your last 15 minutes. Oh, there's Riley. She's happy. Well, why wouldn't you be when you're shooting 14 out of 18 at 78%? That's pretty impressive. But what do you say to the Wildcats? They've got 15 minutes left in the season.
This is one of those tough ones for a coach where you've got nothing riding on the game. It's really just playing for pride and trying to make sure that give a good showing of yourself to see the season out.
Well, if you want to join us on the Facebook page, tell us what you'd say to the Wildcats. By all means do. Drop us a message. Like our good friend Anna Davies, one of our co-commentators, off today, back tomorrow with you, doing the game from North Queensland. And we're underway again, this time through the Wildcats. Oh, long pass there. Oh, Misser picks that one off. And Gregory, goal shooter, try and put some defensive pressure on. Let's see how they come out of the break, the QUT side.
See Hallie Geyer on wing defence for the Wildcats.
Any other changes, my friend?
Not that I can see.
So Bachelor, she's been confident today. She was confident last week, and why wouldn't you be? That one just misses.
Actually, there is one more change. Veve's on at wing defence for QUT.
The Ferrari moves to the defensive end. That is not ideal for Wildcats. And Grant decides to do a bit of a push-up there in the offside position.
Sure, there was an advantage offside call there. Not really much you'd be able to do from that position.
Probably not. So Fallon with it at wing attack. Oh! Bit of showtime here from Toya and Fallon. The Lakers are in town.
Unfortunately, the shot just rolls over the ring.
It does indeed. Well, we're the home of the Borts as well here at Nissan Arena, so a little bit of showtime being played there. And a hand in there from Veve, and look at the glide down the court with Dakota Newson at centre and Grant at wing attack. This will be pretty slick. So,
indeed. Well, it looks like Lenora misses back to goalkeeper, and Danielle Taylor at goal defence for QUT as well.
So QUT getting the final sort of positional switches, trying to get them right before the semis. Don't forget, you get your tickets, you go to Ticket Tech, and there's a link on there, and you nominate your favourite netball club, and you go into the draw for $2,500 worth of gear from our Sapphire sponsors for your favourite club. Vote 1, Queensland Suns men's netball team. So back we go.
Have to admit my allegiances are slightly split now that I've started coaching for Raiders out at Western Districts.
It's my old club. So
following in your footsteps, Millsy.
Is anyone missing me out there? Still crying? Or tears everywhere? That's what happened in 2011. It wasn't a flood, it was tears. So, QUT spent three.
There's just something on here, Millsy. There's quite a few tickets here. Let me just get them off.
Someone's got to promote me. Of course, if you need specialist coaching.
Did give you a wrap earlier.
Appreciate that.
Yep.
So, I spent a lot of time at Western Districts. I won a couple of premierships with them in the Old State League, their first ever. In 2004, and then I went to the what is now the HART Sapphire Series. I stepped up after that, and I was with the Lions for a long time. So had a lot to do with Western District. Great people out there.
Absolutely, they are.
And then I was away for about a decade and came back when we got men's up. We had a few teams out there. We had some men's teams out there, and then we won a couple of premierships with them as well.
Yeah, that's right.
So, of course, you were in teams when we won those premierships, my friend?
Yes, 2016, if memory serves.
16, 15 as well? We won 2, didn't we?
No, 15 we went down to Pine Rivers.
That's right.
But 16 we came back and set the record straight.
Pine Rivers. Darren Gillespie shot the lights out that night. I do remember it. Well, it was ridiculously high. It was like 70 to 67 or something stupid. No one could stop anything. So,
I do remember speaking to for the 2016 match, speaking to one of the umpires in the weeks following, and she said that she didn't want the match to end. She was enjoying it that much that she wanted to just keep umpiring that match.
Let's be honest, Joel, no one wants men's netball to end.
That's true.
It's brilliant. So, Wildcats here, they're fighting hard. They get a shot away through Gregory. Gregory is on this incredible run. She's now 14 out of 15 at 93%. Just remember, she came into this match 158 out of 199 at 79%, so she's way above her percentages. And another goal here, QT. They score them quickly. They now lead it by 30. There's 11 minutes to go in this, the last quarter of the 2021 season for the Wildcats. We've talked about this young side. You keep them all together, would you, Joel? Like, you kind of have to, don't you? Like you want to keep a whole bunch of young ones at the start of the year.
Yeah, I suppose as a coach, though, you're always wanting to make sure you're improving your team, whether that's through new personnel or just developing players. So I'm sure they'd be looking at both options.
You'd be looking at your off-court stuff as well. Like, did you get your fitness right? Did you get the gym work? They do a lot of gym work, these athletes. They get that part of it right. So there's a whole raft of things they could look at. So. And of course, you got to look at the financial position of the club as well. Like, they're all individual franchises now. So they force a turnover here, the Wildcats. So Liliana Rennie, that'd be someone I'd be signing up for a multiple-year deal if you're allowed to do that. I'm not sure if you can, but she is the future. I'd be definitely signing her up. So Guy with it now, looks down, finds Mulherron. Of course, if Mulherron goes back to play for Scotland, she might not get back into the country. So, it's the reality of the world we live in.
Yeah, it really is.
So they might be looking for a new DD next year through no other fault of their own. So Gregory under pressure here from Taylor, but does well. And again, nothing but net on that shot. Boom shagalugga. Jolie, 15 out of 16. That's a super effort by Brianna Gregory.
Yeah, it certainly is. I'd be happy with those sort of shooting stats.
And the pass into Adams Tahara. Let's look at her volume. She's had an incredible 54 shots so far, and 43 of them are successful at 80%. The percentage is down, but as we've spoken before, can't think of any of the rebounds she's missed. If she has missed, I think Bachelor Door's picked up most of those rebounds.
Just noticed the Wildcats making a double change at goal attack, wing attack. Baird back on at wing attack and Anderson at goal attack.
Baird and Anderson. Anderson up from Ruby.
I have to say, I've been impressed with her on court for her first game in the Sapphire series. Hasn't looked out of place at all.
She's a fairly slight young athlete and is moving around. Oh, Keisha Grant came from nowhere, but got called for the contact on the way through by the looks of it. Or was it an offside? We'll soon see. It's offside. Yeah, must have just got the shoelace in the goal third there.
Looks spectacular.
So, Baird, fires it in, but Misick there to stop it. Transition time here for the QUT side. There with it. Has to go backwards. Don't see that often. There's that big outlet pass. Bachelor, turned in one motion and then runs towards the centre third. So confident in the shot. And Adams Tahara misses, but gets her own rebound. See Bachelor do this? She just passed it off. This is a goal. And just walked towards where she'd accept the centre pass from.
And slowly started to walk back as that shot was missed.
That's confidence in your teammate. There with it. Forces to go across. Danielle Taylor doing a mountain of work today. Bachelor. Loose hand. Might have been Donnelly with a hand on that one, I think. Ball goes and picks it up out of the corporate boxes. Don't forget, we don't know what's happening with the Firebirds, but firebirds.com.au for all your tickets. There's talk there could be midweek games, so make sure you follow all the socials and the websites and get out here and support the Firebirds in their push for the finals. They're coming home with a wet sail, Joel.
They really are. They've had some really solid wins.
So, big win over the Lightning last week.
Was that an air ball from Adam Stahara?
I think it was a pass. We'll see what the stats man says.
I think you're being generous.
We're looking at the stats man. He's put it down as just a pass. 45-58. So 58 shots, that's incredible. He's probably going to tap out about 65 shots for the match.
Brittany Mould back in wing defence for Wildcats.
Steps in this one. And no mistake there.
Certainly been a lot of changes in this match. I think a match that isn't going to change the ladder. The coaches are really rolling their players through.
So QUT call a timeout. It's their last. It's the last for the match. 63-30, margin of 33. And there's just on 6:43 to play in this last quarter. What do you say this time, Jolie? The Wildcats just throw the bids up in the air? And
yeah, that thought actually did just go through my mind.
Well, let's listen in. Paula should be trying to gear them up in the last. This is the last chance before final. 6:43 to go. We'll listen to Paula Stewart. See what she's saying to her charges. What, of course, is the Wildcats on screen.
I still think sometimes you're coming out that little bit high. I want you to stay where you want to shoot, and I want us to have a look at any swings happening. Sometimes I think that you're probably on the wrong angle for them to feed it in. If you're on the wrong angle, let's swing it and make sure it's the right angle. Right. Come on in. A lot better. Let's go. Let's finish this off.
So a bit of technical stuff there. Mainly directed, looked like it was directed at Adam Stahara. I think she feels she's a bit too far out to be taking these shots, Joel.
Yeah, it sounded that way, that she wants her to stay where she wants to shoot. So the ball's coming to her rather than her going looking for it.
Yeah, and well, obviously she's finding the ball a fair bit. She's had 59 shots thus far.
I was thinking earlier, though, that she certainly was taking a lot more of those balls sort of out in that super shot range, taking that pass out there rather than close to the post.
Speaking of super shots, Joel, Riley Batchelor just drained another one. She's sitting in a nice, healthy 17 out of 22. So that's a good volume for a goal attack as well. And 17 at 77%. So we're back with the Wildcats.
As we saw in that time out there, Tuatama Allsop's on a wing attack for QUT.
Just looking at the quarter-by-quarter scores, it's now 28-10 the second half. So the pedal to the metal for the team from QUT Netball, and they're just sort of just pulling away with it. 10-3 in this quarter at the moment, Joel. So they sort of answered that 13-all second quarter.
Yeah, it definitely did. The other thing I noticed about that timeout from the QUT team there as well, it's certainly not a game that's finished. Paula Stewart really wanting to make sure that they play out these last 6 minutes and work on what they need to going into the finals.
Well, you're a coach yourself. You know that the way you finish a game is usually quite often how you start the next one. I don't know why that is, because it makes no sense, but it's actually true. So you tend to really want to finish strongly. Even if you're winning a game by 60 or 70, that last 10 minutes, you want that to almost be your best 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And as a coach, it's also the very hardest to keep your athletes engaged in that last 10 minutes.
That's right.
And that is the master, you know, that's why these guys are great coaches, you know, so they can be able to do that. So join us on the commentary team with the Facebook, as many people are, including someone called Juliet Wise.
That's my mum.
Your mum.
That is my mum.
Mum. How's your mum doing? We saw on Facebook she had a little car accident.
Yeah,
she bounced back well?
She's recovering really well.
Excellent.
Yeah. So fortunately, no massively serious injuries. But no, she's healing up well.
Well, our thoughts go out to Juliet. Well, glad to have you on the coverage, and glad you're not in too bad a shape after your little bingle. So QUT with it now. They fired across. Batchelor with it. So it's with Batchelor. She's in the super shot range. Doesn't take it this time. And still with QUT. You got to admire the Wildcats. They've tried everything in this game. They haven't laid down. Just we've got a team gearing up for finals, just starting to click in different areas, which has made it very difficult for the Wildcats today. And Baird with it. Has to go backwards. Got an obstruction call here on Gribble at wing defence again, my friend.
Yes.
You wanted to see it?
Yes.
You called it. You saw it. Here it is. So Taylor with GD with Gribble. I think they're pretty interchangeable.
Mm.
And they're both wearing those calf socks now. That's annoying because they look fairly similar from distance too.
That's true.
I think these players do it just to annoy me. Particularly those child sisters from Tigers. So, I reckon they're having a running joke with me. So back with QUT again. Adams Tahara in closer like Coach Stewart requested and hasn't missed since she's gone to there. Just check those stats. She's just ticked over 61 attempts. She's 2 off 50 for the game. She's 48 out of 61 at 79. And Bachelor again. This beautiful shot of hers is solid today. It was solid last week.
Just thinking that about her shot. Very controlled, very measured, but just so fluid at the same time.
Yep. Had a couple of quietish weeks there just before last week, and then geared up for the big match and played brilliantly. And she's going to finish this season super strong. So it's really disappointing she didn't get a chance to go to the Nationals for the 19s. I reckon she would have gone close to a national selection. So 68-34. We're inside the last 3. 2:27 to play. Double the score at the moment, the QUT side. Just looking at the team stats, QUT normally average, they average 56. They're well above that today. They're 12 above that, and defensively they only average 43, keeping teams under 43.9. So their defensive effort. So that'll please the coach coming into the finals. Greater output, better defence. Wildcats, they average 41 usually, and they're at 34 today, so they're a little bit down at the moment. Probably missing Josephine Bingham. Hopefully she gets well. There she is. We can see her in the crowd from here. Don't put a camera on at the moment. She's having a big yawn. So she's going through the Netball Australia concussion protocols at the moment.
Great tip there from Lenora Missa.
There's that elevation we were talking about and the hang time, but Buddy says no, you obstructed. Took it off her.
Just been thinking though, we were talking earlier about the Wildcats and where they go from here. I think their mid-court is certainly something that you could build around too. The combination of Donnelly, Baird and Mould.
Yeah, Mould's been in the league 10 years, so not sure what her future is, whether she wants to continue. Of course, in the old, the old league that we had. Yeah, I mean, there's an opportunity to put another youngster in there, but I think the recruitment of Baird has been brilliant. That was very smart. Like, she was not getting a lot of court time at the Cougars, so to make her, to go and get her was a really smart move. So, nice play there by Hillsop. She kept that in and got it over to Bachelor. We're inside the last minute. And falls the way of Adams Tahara. I'd probably, just further on that, I'd probably turn Bingham into a mid-quarter and try and get another big shooter, like as in a tall. You know what I mean? Like, it just, someone like Bachelor's height that can play GA, so that would be ideal. I mean, I'd chuck the money at Bachelor if you could, but she's an old, she was at the Wildcats 2 years ago, so say sorry and throw a lot of money. So, contact call here on, looks like Lily Gribble, she's out of 71 QUT, 35 to the Wildcats. Toya's back on. She'll have the last shot of the game, maybe. No, it rings out. So QUT a chance for one more. So Gregory goes to the bench at 17 out of 18 at 94%. So she's had a great match. And there's Southern with it now. Fires it in. Bachelor somehow finds Tahara on the baseline. Adams Tahara scores. Goal 72. It's 72 to 35. That's the final score. An 18-7 last quarter in favour of the QUT side. Just looking at that, 36 to 15 second half. QUT did the job fairly well, Joel.
Yeah, they did. They, like we said in that first half, a little bit up and down. We saw a little bit of that in the second half as well, but certainly much more controlled and very much ran away with that game.
So let's talk about the best for the Wildcats. That's their season done and dusted. Who do you reckon would be their best for today?
Best for today, I think through the mid-court is where they were most stable and were able to move the ball very comfortably. I think Courtney Baird certainly brought a lot to the game today in that regard.
So Baird, the best for them. I thought Gregory was good when she came out, 17 out of 18. They just couldn't find her enough, but she was very solid when she got the ball. QUT, is there any standout for you, my friend?
Oh, QUT, I think, again, their defensive end, just every time I see their defensive end, that's the thing that really stands out for me. I think tonight, a little bit, not Lenora Missir is usually the one that I go to, but I think today it was a bit more Lily Gribble and Danielle Taylor, I think, were really effective.
Yeah, Gribble was good. I thought Bachelor was good too, did a lot of good things, and of course the shot was solid as ever. She hit, can she see this? 18 out of 23, that's a good volume. Between them, they had 89 shots on goal. That is almost unheard of. So there's some highlights there. Don't forget, that wraps up that is the season for the Wildcats. They came into the season in 4th place last year. They've slipped down to 7th. It was a big rebuilding year for them. They had 9 players leave the club or retire, and they did their best, and they played some really good quarters at different times, Joel.
Yeah, no, they've been a good team to watch. There's certainly a lot there to build on for future years, and hopefully they can bounce back next year and be competitive.
So that's it for the Wildcats. That brings conclusion to the first game today. Wildcats 35 and the QUT tied 72. Don't forget, we're back at 5 minutes to 5 for the big one. The Bond Uni Bull Sharks continuing their push for 4th. They take on the undefeated Cougars. And then at 7, we've got the Jets and the Tigers. My name's Dave Mills. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, HART Sports, principal sponsor, Legasic Jewelers, Mizuno, Mount Franklin and Powerade, our major partners. Bondovite and Strapit are the official partners. Broadcast is Double Take Sports. Gina and the team, they are the best in the business. Don't forget, you can still get down here. 2 games on tonight. Go to sapphireseries.com.au for your ticket purchase. And, of course, Nissan Arena is a cashless venue. Joel, you're back for the next one?
I certainly am.
Well, thank you for your time today, and we'll see you at 5 minutes to 5. It's bye for now, and as always, be brilliant, people.